Well, hello YouTube universe. David here. I'm back in the shed to try and get a little work done on the GT6 today. It's the 17th of August, and last time I was out here I was doing a bunch of grinding, hours and hours of grinding, which was boring. I came back in today and I've seen this section here which has flash rusted really badly. But what I don't understand is why this other part that's right beside it, which was ground at the same time, didn't. Anyway, just reinforces the fact I really should get to the Canadian Tire store and pick up some more cans of primer so that I can cover that stuff up. Anyway, I'm going to be going back over some of this today because after grinding there are spots like this, for example, where you can't actually see it very well here, but it didn't weld right through. There's gaps. There's a couple other spots like that. Otherwise, it's not too bad. I'll go back, shine light behind some of this, make sure that there's no other major pinholes, and then possibly do some welding from the inside as well. The other thing I want to try and concentrate on today, which I've been kind of putting off, is some little patches. There's one here. This is the passenger side, right at the corner of the all of a sudden I've lost the name for this. Anyway, at the back of the passenger panel, this is where the floor intersects the edge of the sill. There's a little bit there. Over here on the other side, this is the driver's side. You can see the light, my work light shining through there. There's a hole here from when I first fitted this panel, and then similar to on the passenger side, there's another gap here at the corner. So I want to get those two patches done. I might look at trying to finish this off as well. I think I mentioned earlier, I'll probably a couple of lines here, bend this down to match the shape on this side, and then do some more patching. As you can see, there's cut marks here from when I was first trying to fit this. So a bit of fettling to do here. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do today. I'll try and post some intermediate shots when I get to significant points. See you in a bit. Okay, yeah, quick little update. Not much to say. I've got a couple of the patches in. One here in the corner. This is the passenger side, just at the rear of the floor. Another one which was up here in this pressing, there was a bit of rot in there, so I just cut that out and patched in a little tiny piece. The hole that I just welded over there. And then, of course, in all my poking around, another hole poked its way into existence. So I'll have to do something about that. And then, what else did I do? Oh yeah, I got this part over here. This is, again, on the driver's side, on the inside corner of the floor pan at the back. So I got that patch tacked in and welded. So time to get the grinder out, I think, and then see how it looks after I grind down all of the excess weld. Okay, after a couple of hours in the garage, or in the shed, doing a bit of welding, I've run out of wire. Now, I thought I had another spool of wire, but maybe I already actually used up the second one that I had. Anyway, just a quick update of what I've been doing. Been grinding down the welds along the floor pans that I did some time ago now, and then going back and filling in pinholes that show up after I grind down the welds. That's a tedious and annoying process. Anyway, I'm hoping that rather than having to grind all the welds down so that they're completely flush and you don't even see that there's a weld there anymore, that when I get to the primer stage, that maybe I can use some of that short strand epoxy primer filler to tidy that look up a little bit. Not trying to hide anything per se, I'm just trying to make it a little bit more cosmetically appealing. Anyway, that is quite a ways off in the future. Still have lots more welding to do. And before I can do any welding, I've got to go to the hardware store. So, bye for now. Oh well, hello everybody. Welcome back. It's Sunday the 19th of August, and I'm back in the shed. I've actually been working for a few hours today, welding and grinding and welding and grinding, and so what I've been doing is trying to get these floor pans finished off. And part of the challenge here is that there's very, very long seams to weld up. And what I end up getting is, every time I do a bit of grinding, I don't know if it can be seen very well there, any spot that is a little bit low in weld actually has a pinhole after I grind it back, so that I then go back and fill in more weld and then grind back again. Anyway, it seems to be a never-ending circle, and I'm getting to the end of my tether on this. I'm trying to figure out how much grinding to do and how much to leave, maybe to put seam sealer on a lot of these long seams after I've gotten all of the major body work done, like when I've gotten to an epoxy coat, etc. So part of the frustration is this weld and grind cycle. So I'm actually going to diverge a little bit now. So I'm going to start working on the rear of the car here. So I've got the back of the rear wheel wells where there's lots of rot, a pretty common spot for this in GT6s and Spitfires. Anyway, I have the replacement panels I got from Rimmers. I think I ordered them last winter, actually. So here's this one, for example. This is the driver's side. So it's got this lip. So I've traced its location for cutting, or I've traced the panel itself, the replacement panel, and then another trace, as you can see, to account for that lip, which I'll be able to put in with my punch tool. So the plan right now is to get the cutting wheel cut off along the bottom, come around the edge. Now there is a little bit of rust on the inside here, just as there was up here on the front part of the rear fender. So I'm going to cut back a little bit here, obviously wrap around the edge, see what it looks like underneath here, and decide how far up this way I have to go. Then I'll replace this metal here, and then I'll be able to put that panel in place. Now, I'm quite sure that when I get this off, there's going to be evidence of the inner fender as well, or not the inner fender, but rather the stiffener that's in here. That's also pretty commonly rotted, and it definitely is on the passenger side. So anyway, time to do a little bit of cutting. I'll bring you back in a minute when this is opened up. Alright, so as expected, quite a bit of rot along the bottom edge here, and as it comes up into the curve around the back of the valance. So got to take this finisher, the original finisher bit off here, so a little bit of grinding there, and then There's some spot welds to take care of around the inside of the fender well here before I can take that last bit of scrap off. And then investigate how far up to do work on here. Doesn't look too far, a couple inches maybe, something like that. So hopefully not too bad. It's the other side which is worse than this. I'll get the wire wheel out and see what this looks like when I get it back to cleaner metal. Anyway, that's it for now. Another update coming up. Okay, so I think it's about 5 o'clock or so. Time to start thinking about making dinner. But so here we go. I've got this back section of the rear fender cut away, and a little bit of wire wheeling has shown where the rust is just surface and where it's a little bit more aggressive than just surface. So I think I'm going to try and do a little bit more cleaning back up here in the wheel well. It's hard to see, but there's a fair amount of surface rust in there. So I want to clean that up a bit, then hit it with some rust converter. Then down here there's this lower section of this stiffener piece. So I think when I'm back here next, I'm probably going to be cutting here and here and here and then along here to take this lower part out. Now once I do that, I may have to repair some flanges along here on the valance and on the trunk floor under here, but I don't think it's going to be too bad. Famous last words. Anyway, that's it for today. Hope you join me tomorrow. See you then.